Hi, everyone. Welcome to our third virtual Cantina speaker series episode. This week, I am thrilled to have with us Christian Waggoner. Christian, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you.
We're very glad to have you. Not only do I appreciate your time, you're one of the first people that I reached out to for this, but we know right now that there's a certain baseball team you probably would want to be watching. So we really appreciate your time, and best of luck to those Atlanta Braves.
Thank you. Thank you.
Christian, we were talking about this before. I think you'd be hard pressed to find any Star Wars fan that isn't familiar with your work. But I want them to get to know the man behind the work. So If you could start off and tell us, where does your Star Wars story begin? When did you become a fan?
I became a fan in first grade when the movie came out. We were a little hippie family in Atlanta, had to take Marta to go see it. My parents were both sci-fi fanatics, always watched Star Trek, and I didn't know what I was in for. And I came out of that movie and I was absolutely blown away. In first grade, all through school, I always was drawing or practicing my signature. And I knew that the first day of school, what I was going to be doing for the rest of my life. I'm third generation portrait artist on my dad's side, but my mom was better than both of the guys. So I was bred for this.
In your blood.
And so years go by, still doing all the Star Wars drawings through school, then Herschel Walker, Georgia, and all that. And, followed my passion all the way through, where I opened up an art gallery in Atlanta and was doing my reflections, a lot of silver reflections and everything. And I worked with a couple artists. They said, well, you're big time in Atlanta. You're nothing till you go up to New York. So I did the New York Art Expo. But while I was doing it, it was on my 36th birthday. Acme Archives came to me and they said, can you pitch your style to our theme? I said, what's your theme? And they said, we need the 30th anniversary of Darth Vader. And I said, I will make it happen. And at that time, this is the style I was doing. This is one of the pieces I actually took to New York with showing the silver reflections in it. And so I used my hard crop, but I thought it was going to be a walk in the park, but I did countless drawings and they kept shooting it down. Finally, I went back to my original thumbnails right when I got back from New York, and it was my third one. It was the hard, funky crop with Vader, with Obi-Wan. Instead of doing a hardcore detailed piece, I just did it with pencil. I said, if this doesn't fly, I guess I'm not the artist for them. Sure enough, they said, that's the look we're looking for. And do you want me to just keep going? Or
I'm going to say that's quite a 36th birthday present right there.
It was, but actually leading up to the show, when I opened up my art gallery, Revenge of the Sith came out. And I just saw that helmet on my first day off reflecting, and I'm saying, God, I would love to do a painting of that, but I couldn't because of copyrights. And I was already doing prints, and you can't violate the copyrights and all that. But while doing the show wasn't going really well for me at the time, but I remember walking by the Acme Archives booth and seeing all the Star Wars art, and I'm just saying, God, how amazing would that be to do one of these pieces? And once George saw the piece, he bought it and he said, get him to do another one. And so they said, hey, George wants another one. I said, well, I came up with a stormtrooper. And they said, no, Brian Root is already doing a stormtrooper. I said, well, I have Boba Fett with Han Solo frozen in carbonite. They said, what? They said, send us. Instead of doing a hardcore detail, just a quick pencil sketch, do it. And from then on, George saw that one, bought it as well. All right, I think we're ready for the stormtrooper. And it was all from the childhood. All those scenes were big scenes to me. Just all the stormtroopers coming in, I was in love with the stormtroopers. You know, those little action figures were only $2. And I was telling my parents, I need 20, not two, 20 of them. So that's how it all started working.
It's just it's amazing on so many levels, but that you started with those the paintings that you just showed us, the reflection in the silver, and how you applied that to Star Wars and to kind of make a dream come true, what you've been doing all your life. I think right
Oh,
now in the world today, especially like you said at the show, it wasn't going so well, and then all of a sudden, acne makes it happen, and you make it happen.
acne makes it happen. It happened on my 36th, and my pop's birthday is 2 days after mine. I'm in Morton's, Manhattan, and I said, Pops, I'm walking away with Lucasfilm. He didn't even wish me happy birthday. He started stuttering. He was so impressed because we did countless Halloween costumes. My second grade Halloween costume was R2D2 that we handmade, set on my shoulders, turned, and the compartment came out where you put the candy in. And so he was just as big a Star Wars fan as I was. And I mean, third grade, we were like an artist family. He made me my Han Solo blaster.
Oh,
And,
awesome.
carried it around. I mean, it's just, and if any of y'all saw the stuff that I did for Obi-Wan Ranch, for the benefit, we did a Scarif Tower with the Death Star and he did all this woodwork. I mean, it was the most beautiful thing you ever seen.
So amazing, so absolutely amazing. And I love, I love that it's the scenes that you've done are the scenes that were powerful to you when you were a kid.
Oh,
Because that's what I
exactly.
think when I see them, I think, he's in my head. You're putting this on canvas. So how have you created? It's like you're in my head. These are the scenes that are so vivid in my mind, and you.
I mean, I get those same compliments when people send me messages. I bring them back to their childhood where, they said, I remember that. It's just like when you go to your grandma, you used to smell your grandmother's pantry, that smell. It's a sense. You see that sight. I knew exactly where I was the first time I, looked at that scene. So.
So the Vader and Obi-Wan, people in the group know that's my absolute favorite character in the saga. Is obviously going to be a highlight for you. What have been some other of the highlight pieces in your career that you've brought to life?
Oh, well, let's take a walk.
Oh yeah, let's.
All right. I'm always, tell me if y'all can, let me.
Nice.
The R2.
Yeah.
This is actually my studio. There's a lot of the stuff hasn't been shown. Even a little piece I'm working on right now, but probably won't get published. It's just a fun piece I'm playing around with. Let's see, hold on. This has a couple of them. I love the Royal Guard, the C-3PO. A lot of them I don't have up, but you can't forget that scene with Boba.
Oh yeah.
And so it's just, if I wasn't prepared to have all of them, some of them are in the closets. But it's fun stuff that, I love working on.
Just to see these pieces hanging up there is absolutely amazing.
Here, I'll go ahead, do this part of the conversation. I can watch part of the game and look at you. Can y'all see this one? I don't have my glasses on. I'm about blind.
We can see Baby Yoda. The reflection it's them on the ground pointing the guns at each other, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And right when he basically got his butt whooped. Want some soup?
She got
a peace treaty right there. I absolutely love that series.
It is man, it is just inspiring. It has all the everything that yeah, I remember from loving Star Wars when I was 5 years old when I saw it. It has all those pieces.
All of it.
It just feels right, sounds right, looks right.
I could do a couple more pieces from that first, but since they brought out like my Mando, with all the stormtrooper helmets on spikes, that great ending would have been, having Mando with Baby Yoda and him holding the necklace in the reflection. With Baby Yoda as he sees, the necklace. He said, "I thought I lost this."
Oh yeah.
At the end of 8, yeah. But I'm looking forward to this season.
Oh yeah, yeah. We're close. Less than 20 days.
I'm looking at least 3 easy pieces. Rex, Boba, Ahsoka,
Man,
no
yeah.
telling.
If any of those, it looks like a lot. Some of that is definitely coming true from the names of the episodes. But can't wait to see what they do and what you do with the art, from how you're inspired from the show. I think we did have a question. I missed who it was from, but somebody asked you those 20 stormtroopers that you asked for. Do you have any left? Do you still have any figures from when you were a kid?
No, actually, after those, I started collecting the 12-inch ones, which I absolutely loved. The tall ones, I had the Boba, I had Obi-Wan, Luke, Han Solo, he had the best. R2 with all the little things that you could slide in, C3PO. And I was always a fan of shiny. I mean, C3PO was one of my favorites. Just seeing the silver and the gold one, to start off, just starting the movie off. I'm looking at these droids, I'm seeing silver and gold. And even in first grade, my eyes were just always chased shiny and pretty. And then next thing I know, seeing all those stormtroopers coming in, all in white, that first opening scene, first the ship, then just that battle scene, just having, everything. I was just blown away.
I think you're talking to the right people here, because I think a lot of us were. So Jeff, I just saw somebody had a good question for Christian. I wanted to see if they want to come on and ask that question. It was about the process and time. So Jeff, is there any way you could bring that person on?
I didn't get any?
No, but you can have the other one.
But I always have these. They always give me these.
Hey there. It's okay.
Hi, did you have a question? You had a question for Christian about his how long it takes for him to do his work?
I'm sorry, my daughter came into the room.
That's all right.
Yes, I was just really I was curious how long it takes for him from concept to the final piece. Or do you work at multiple pieces at different stages?
Sometimes I do, but usually from the concept, when George owned it, after the first couple tries, there were no more concepts. I was just starting the piece and it was getting approved. Now with Disney taking over, usually I starting it, you're dealing with a lot of people with digital compared to oil painting, and it takes so much longer. So by the time you waste, just doing a concept, it's easier doing a first layer on an oil painting and presenting it. Maybe it's not as tight, but you get the gist of it. And an oil painting normally runs me about 3 weeks.
And then also, when you go to the movies, are there little side things deep into the in the background that you're oh, I want to touch that. I want to see what I can do and bring that to light?
Oh, so when well,
Christian, freeze up.
Yes, he did a sensor freeze.
I'm gonna send him a message.
Okay.
Question was too good.
That was a great question.
Great job, Lila.
Thank you, Lila.
By the way, your name is period, Lila, just so you know. Your name got changed at some point.
How are you, Christian? Are you back with us? Not yet. All right, might want to just make a note for the recording. What is it?
Yeah,
16 minutes. Is it about 16 minutes in? So we'll do an edit.
right.
All right. So while we're waiting for Christian to come back, are there other questions people have or comments when he comes back?
Meredith has her hand up.
Meredith has her hand up.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll get Meredith when we get him back on.
She can.
I just want to say
tell her to.
that Clone Wars season 7 painting that he showed us a quick glimpse of. Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna tease that there was gonna be something special tonight because he's like, why don't I give a tour of the house and I'll show you all the artwork? I was like, yep.
A lot of
Intentionally didn't tell Spencer because Spencer's usually behind the scenes. And I was like, yeah, Spencer should get a surprise too.
No, I absolutely love that. But seeing the clone trooper helmet in the snow, and we didn't see the light, but I'm sure the reflection was Vader. That blew my mind.
Let's see. How we still nothing from
I don't believe so.
All right.
Do you have his phone number? You can text him.
Yep.
He may not even know he got disconnected, or it took him a minute. You never know.
Well, while we're on hold,
Yeah.
we got the size noodle Forcella 2022 pins finally in.
Cool.
They are available on one of our sites. I'm very excited that they finally came in. Actually, if I could do a backflip, I probably would have done a backflip when I saw it in my mailroom. But the pre-orders for the pins will be going up at the end of this week. They're already enveloped up. So very excited about that. And later on tonight, after the interview with Christian, I chose 2 questions from the pod deck. So we'll have a couple of questions for later on tonight.
Looks like he's coming back.
All right.
Or did he go there? Yep, there he is.
Hey guys,
Hey.
Hey, welcome back.
sorry about that. Something
No,
up.
it wouldn't be a Tuesday night if something like that didn't happen. Don't worry about it.
Frank, what's the
Wow.
timestamp?
Yeah, 7:20. Yeah, 20 minutes. So from 7:16 to 7:20.
Got it. Thank you.
And okay, so Christian, we have another question. This
Okay.
one is from Meredith, who has a question for you.
Hi, Christian.
Hello.
This is Meredith. You were talking about Disney's ownership, and that made me wonder, do they direct what art you can do or characters, or are you
They
free
suggest-
to,
They did
submit
suggest.
or do what you want? How does that work?
Well, after The Mandalorian came out, they suggested 2 pieces. And, we already brought out a Mando piece, and you can't just bring out another print of the same character with a reflection. And, well, this year I was going to ask them, what would they like me to do? And sometimes, you give suggestions, but I don't mind taking them. I mean, anything that will get it published and make it easier for me, I'll do it.
Yeah. Gotta work. Yeah.
Sounds good.
And
Thank you.
Thank you,
Uh-huh.
Mary. And why don't we go right to Catherine had a question as well.
Hi, Christian. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. This is so exciting.
Well, thank
Um,
you.
My question is in regards to that sneak peek you gave us of the clone trooper helmet.
Uh-huh.
I'm sure you've heard this before, but after that final episode, I think everybody had it in their mind that that would be the perfect Christian Waggoner picture right there.
Right there.
And,
I mean,
and
it was
then
flattering.
and you made the comment that it may not be released. So is that something that is not going to happen for fans of yours, or is it something maybe something different?
I presented that one, but I think they're following up with this other idea.
Something that you've done?
Something I've done. I submitted 2 at one time, and they said the other one was stronger than that one, which I agreed. And that's why I sort of gave y'all the sneak peek of that one.
Gotcha. Well, just so you know, we really believe that that would be the perfect Christian Waggoner. And I would buy at least 1 or 2. I don't know. I'd probably have to have one in every room.
Just think about the Dave Filoni sketch.
Ah, gotcha. All
I
right.
would
Well,
have a hard time thinking that they did not, when they did that shot, that scene, that they did not have your artwork in mind. I don't
Exactly.
think it's possible that you did not come up in that.
It's
It
a
is
lot
so-
of Star Wars
it is.
artists, they sent me messages, and I didn't even realize I wasn't a fan till it came out, and let up. And then once I watched them, I said, "Oh my word!" I'm one of those. I'm more of the people ask me, "Do you know all the books?" No, and I'm one of those. Like when I'm all around the other Star Wars artists, they can name every single thing. I say, "Yeah, you know that thing." No, describe it. Oh, that. Oh, yes, Christian. You mean, whatever. But but I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Like the animation, I wasn't, it was just because of animation. Once I saw it, I said, "Oh my word." So now I went all the way back. I saw the last 4. I said, "Well, I need to know all the backstory, about Darth Maul." And it was just amazing. And the great storytelling. But I was just one of those, had it in, no, I have to see the, first, the original trilogy. And then, when the prequels, I love even the prequels, even the new ones, it's part of the story. Yeah, you agree, but, it's hard when you come out with the best-selling movie of all time as your, the very first. What if the Beatles did Sgt. Pepper's?
Right.
Came out with the Sgt. Pepper's first. So, but there you go. All right,
When
the
you-
next question.
Thanks,
Yep.
Christian.
Uh-huh.
When you watch the new movies,
Uh-huh.
does it take your first viewing? Are you automatically looking at it through the lens of artwork?
Okay.
Or you just
That's
enjoy
where
it?
we got when we froze up. So I go, but I'm still looking, and it's usually during Christmas time. So I will go to the very 9 o'clock movie and get dead center right behind the projection and take my camera and I'll click the scenes. I'm,
Yeah.
so I have a visual, so I know what I'm looking at, and knowing what they're looking at, what's around them, and I just have my phone go. That's why I'm at the very back row. No one's behind me looking at me. I'm right under the projection, dead center.
Oh,
And
man.
then I go back, look, it's all the different angles because you can't get them, and it gives me enough reference so I know the story or the, what I want to do.
Nice.
And I do that even with my, DVDs, my Blu-rays. I pause them and go from one screen to another till I finally get it. Lucasfilm will send me the reference, but it takes forever. It's not as high quality as my TV, and I just click it. Oh, that's it. And then, you tweak it. And when I first came, coming from the fine art to doing commercial illustration art, I always had to have it. My helmet, I have to play, just get it, send me the reference and I'll do the photo shoot. But sometimes a screen grab, but then you got to manipulate it. You have to use your artist input and, and create the piece to make it your piece. You take it, but then throw a funky angle on it. And you have to look at it where they're looking at the person. Like, you see with the Vader and Obi-Wan, it was a up under where it was Obi-Wan sort of looking up at Vader and Vader sort of looking, had his head up, but you see the perspective of it, how tall Vader was to Obi-Wan.
When your references always from a print, or have you ever used like a prop, like actual helmet?
Oh yes. When I first started, they sent me the Vader helmet. So I manipulated it and, I used other models. And that's the great thing about the shows. When you have an idea, you can use models. Majority of my stuff came from shows, but sometimes, a screen grab, if you want to try to nail it as close as you can to the scene. But I prefer to use my own models, my own props, make it 100% original that you can, but there's times you just can't. And, you do a screen grab, but then if you use a screen grab, you have to use your artist's ability and your style to make it as close as, to be yours, but you're still borrowing. But yes.
You, right off the bat, you had my attention when you said you've been practicing your signature since your first day of school. As an autograph collector, this is music to my ears, because
Right.
in Chicago, I was finally able to get your autograph in person.
Right.
And it struck me because you took great care in doing it. And it has, your autograph is, every autograph is special in its own way, but the care that you take with it and the style, it's artwork in itself. Is this something that is this a conscious thing on your part?
No, it was, it's a brand. I knew from then, I have one of the luckiest lives there is. And, everything just fell in place. The signature from, Christian, I have a great name, just why I sign it Christian. And to the W, if you get the full signature, it's that truly when you get the W, the W looks like a star as it goes and everything flows. But my mom, I'm Greek Italian, so being a Greek woman, you get named after your father and the first brother. So my full name is Daniel Peter, but she added one more. She said, he's going to be an artist, Christian.
Yeah.
And when everybody knew me as Chris growing up, and as when I became a full-time artist, it used to be Chris Waggoner. Then once I made that transformation, it was just Christian. It was just right there. My mom knew, Daniel Peter Christian Waggoner. So.
I love it. That's a great story. Thank you. I believe, if I saw correctly, that Matt has a question.
Yes.
Hey, can you guys hear me all right?
I can hear you.
Hi, Christian. Big fan of your work. Thank you for taking the time with us tonight.
Yeah, man.
So my question was, when it comes to artwork around like new content that comes out, whether it be, Clone Wars, a new movie, The Mandalorian, does Lucasfilm give you kind of like a sneak peek to prep that artwork, or does most of the artwork come after it's already out?
Some of them, I'm sure, like Brian Rood, who's doing the books, he gets that information, but they try to keep it as tight-sealed as possible. And even as close friends as I am with Brian, I don't even cross the line. I don't even put him in a weird spot. I will just wait. But is like I did the one piece of the Mando before it came out and all the research and just knowing, all right, he walks by, it's the helmet, but I was fortunate enough, I didn't have that shoulder piece, where he had the first shoulder done, it wasn't in the piece of art, so I could get away with it. But no, Lucasfilm is they want it exact, very exact. From the most subtle things, which I love. I love because there's times I've been off. When I first started, I didn't know that Vader helmet changed. I didn't know the stormtroopers, just the subtle changes, from the small triangle underneath his chin where it got bigger, from Star Wars to Empire and the subtle changes. And that's the great thing about Lucasfilm. They will guide you and, say, hey, look at this. And they'll send you, references. Hey, you might be off on this point. So any other questions?
I have to ask about the Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah.
Behind you. What's the story behind that? When did you do that?
I did that a couple of years ago, and I moved to the little small town. It got Best in Show. And being a third generation portrait artist, I just love the whole story about Abraham Lincoln. Just everything he stood for.
Oh, Christian, you hit the mute.
So I did that one, and it was one of those funky, and I knew I was moving to the Carolinas just in case if I wanted to hit the banks. And while doing that one, got the Braves on, they're winning. So I got Benjamin Franklin in the bedroom, and there's a couple pieces that haven't been published. This is one of my favorites.
Oh wow!
It's reflecting on Order 66.
With Yoda. Oh man, yeah.
So,
do you know? This might be a weird question. How many of these Star Wars reflection pieces have you done?
Gosh, in my first 7 years, I did 13. And there was a point I wasn't under contract, and I had to keep up my look so no one else would come in and try to, take over. But it's sort of hard when you did it for so long and you're the first one. It's hard for someone to come in and take your style. Yeah. But gosh, I've lost track now. But since my new contract within the last year, so it was 13 pieces in 7 years. In the first year, there's already 5, and one will be coming out, possibly a 7th within the first year.
Wow. A lot to look forward to.
Yeah. The one piece that's coming out, is absolutely gorgeous. It took a lot of time, and it's a little bit more pulled back, so you see a little bit more of a background, but the scene and the reflection.
Oh man.
And the colors, just the colors, the scene. So yeah.
I'd like to ask a little bit about Star Wars Celebration. I know you were in Chicago, like we just said.
Yeah.
Which other celebrations have you been to?
I went to couple Orlandos, because when I first started, it was funny. I remember going to my first Star Wars Celebration, and I painted live for Acme, and it's funny. It was within the first or second year, so no, I didn't really know anyone, and I became friends with Brian Root and Jerry, and then at that show, I became very good friends with Robert Hendrickson. But Brian and all of us, we became friends, just me going painting live at Comic-Con for Acme. And I just remember meeting all those artists, Chris Trevor, just all the Anderson, Russell. And so from that point, it was, so the next celebration, I made sure. And that's when Brian, Jerry, and I had that big booth set up in the artists,
Oh yeah, yeah.
art show area, and went to London. I was in part of the London show. I got accepted for the Germany show, but I didn't do the Germany show. I held out and instead bought a Harley instead of going all the way to Germany. And then I've been to, I guess, the other Orlando after that, and then Chicago. Celebration is a time I go there, to see all the art lovers, but it's the artists that I truly crave to see, to do dinner, have drinks, catch up. And it's usually, you will always will find Brian, Jerry, and myself, who started from the very beginning together with Acme, because we all came in about the same time. And just the friendships from Star Wars weekends down at Disney, just playing jokes on each other, just, goofing off. Jerry makes fun of me. I would come in, and Jerry's a machine. How this guy works. Just standing up, tedious. And I have my patterns, and he says, "Oh, there's wax. I see that head starting to drop." And, busting balls with me. I said, "Yeah, I can do it. Hold on, just give me a stool. I need a stool." And it's some of the best times. And just, which I love about the artist community, with coming from the fine arts, you have all these egos. You got to impress this, or, just egos. You deal with the artists in Star Wars, zero egos. It's all about the love of Star Wars. We throw ideas at each other. I would get a message from Jerry or Brian, "Hey, if you don't do this, I'll do it," And so we laugh and joke, and we talk, and it's all the other, and in the younger ones, because I just remember how I was when I first got there, and everybody, you just walk up to these artists, they're busy, they've got places to go, and then if they don't know you, yeah, okay, hey, but if they're rushing, but you're holding them up, but it's nice. But I try to keep up with now the new younger artists that come in, like the Joe Hogans, which is incredible. All these new artists, and which I, coming from fine art, and, seeing the digital stuff, the new digital stuff is so impressive. The art, the colors, how vibrant, it's impressive. And it's a camaraderie. Like, we all send messages, talk, behind scenes. It's a fun group of people.
It's funny because the fan experience is very similar. We're there and we're surrounded by, maybe at work, or school, we're the Star Wars guy at our school. We're the
Right.
Star Wars guy at our work. But when you're at Celebration, whether you're an artist, you're surrounded by everybody else, thousands of other people that are in the same position, where that's the only time you can really, you just share such a culture.
It's a cool, and I do like Dragon Con. I don't do that many shows. That's why it's hard to get my stuff. And it's, I don't do all the traveling to California Comic-Con, those shows are hard shows. That's a hard on the body. That Chicago show, them adding that extra day.
Yeah.
And on top, that's the first time I ever got the crud.
Oh,
What's that?
That was Chicago was your first crud experience?
Oh, and it caught me early. I had to leave the show early Friday, and I remember taking an Uber, there was a country style cooking place. I picked up some food. I ate it in bed, went to sleep, waking up with cold sweats, and all the way to the show, trying to shove in the vitamins, the medicine with the Gatorade and going. And, I barely could keep my head open. Saturday, left the show early Saturday and started feeling better the next 2 days. But boy, that was hard. And usually during the show, I will leave because I'm one of those huggers, shake hands, give people time, take pictures, arms around, and once an hour, at least once an hour, I would go to the restroom, wash hands, wash the face, get, all that off of you. And now with what we're dealing with, I'm probably going to have a big old squirt bottle and everything, but it's now everybody, after Chicago, I'm may not, okay, here, let's just take a picture, little space, picture between us, have to do that right now. But I mean, I love the fan experience. I was, the one celebration I had fun. I bought near $500 worth of my stuff, from the puzzles, the coasters, go to Target, everything. And you had to sing me a Beatles song. And Jerry was saying, boy, some of those singers you just gave just said, all right, that's on a third note. Okay. Here.
Just keep singing. That's
There was
awesome.
some great ones too. There were some great ones. So, but
We have some more. We have some more questions coming in. Let's. I'm sorry if this is not in the right order, everybody, but I saw Lila had another question.
had to check on the score real quick. All right, y'all go ahead.
Yeah.
I was just curious if any actors actually have commissioned any of your work, because your portrait work is amazing.
Well, thank you. I know. I don't really reach out. I did stuff for Disney, and I really wanted to say, oh, let me just. I've been approached by Marvel, to do stuff. I said, I don't want to just spread my idea, spread it out. And no, it's just, I really keep this as my one illustration corporate job. And I try to keep it to the fine arts. This is the best thing. I don't want to, once it's done, it's done. If there's no more movies, I don't want to just keep doing it where the art just gets okay. It's just when there's a great stuff coming. So, but no, I mean, I'm not like one of those Jerry's or Brian's, Russell Walks, where it's, I try to dabble from Star Wars to the fine art. And if I was in the scene more, maybe, but no. But great question.
Thank you, Lila. Jennifer, you had a question? Christian, Jennifer's the one I told you about that had the artwork hanging in her room when we were talking last week.
Oh, I like that.
My question is, hold on, there we go. When will your next release be? I have the Want Some Soup. I love it, and I actually have a little corner in my basement of all of your artwork, which I was showing off when we were
right
when we got disconnected a little bit, but here I can show that. So I have the Want Some Soup, yes. And then the Darth Vader, the two smaller prints, and then I think this one's probably one of my favorite just because of the reflection that's in there. Right. And then those two
stuff in there. Look at you.
Yeah. I think I went to both. So we were both in Orlando and Chicago, and I always seek out your booth. I love to see what new things you have, and so it's always exciting. Love your stuff.
And actually, it was this year I doubled my size of my booth. I was really going to show everything off, but you know, a year and a half away, from a year and 3/4.
We'll be there. We'll be
You know,
we'll be
I love
excited.
it. I love that room.
Yes. Do you so do you have plans for
Yes.
like
A new one should be coming out, I think, within 2 to 3 weeks. It's a beautiful piece, great colors. It's one of my favorite pieces.
that's awesome.
Done, and I'm very happy. And possibly another one, maybe before the end of the year, or possibly first of the year.
Now will those be through Acme then? So I just gotta watch on Acme Archives and
Oh, if you want an artist proof, you can always contact me.
oh that would be awesome.
Jennifer, you've given us a great segue into Christian. How can people, find your work?
Best way, right now, I'm running my holiday special on my artist page, Christian Waggoner Artist. I'm doing the 5 newest pieces. And private message me is from papers to canvas prints. And I'm not selling any of the old sold out series. I usually keep those for the shows. But the best way right now, just go to Christian Waggoner Artist on Facebook. I usually don't sell off my website anymore. I try to keep my sales minimum because I try to keep the inventory mainly for the celebration shows that I do.
So people just gonna find you on Facebook, Christian Waggoner Artist is your
Artist.
Facebook page. People need to go
And just private message me and I'll send it back. The sale's been going great. I'm probably gonna run it for 4 days and then stop it.
great. And Jeff has just put a link to that Facebook page in the chat. So
Perfect.
everyone make sure you check out.
Thank you, Jeff.
I think we have a little bit more time. Jason has a
Okay.
question for you.
Yeah, man.
Is it
No, hey, sorry, I was trying to unmute. So basically I was asking, for the artwork that you do, does it all have to be approved by Acme or Disney before you can sell it? Or
Oh,
can
yeah.
you sell that, or can you sell anything independently?
No, it's all copyrights. And when you're under license, you don't want to violate that. I mean,
Right.
so, once first I showed the concept to Acme and it's see if they would like to do it, this piece, or, I'll give them sometimes multiple pieces and let them see which one would be the strongest one to bring out, like saying from the clones. And then once we do that, then they submit it to Lucasfilm to see what they think. And, then they will ask, any direction do you want him to go on, or any changes, depending how far along the piece is. There's been times I submitted a piece completely.
Sorry about that. You have
a question?
No, I was just, that was it, because I know you got a lot of great artwork in there, and if some of it doesn't get approved or whatever, I guess I gotta train on being an art thief or something, because you got a lot of great stuff in there.
Well, thank you.
You got a
Thank
lot
you.
of great work. I like it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
excellent? Great question, Jason. Do we have any other last minute questions for Christian before I want to be able to enjoy his game tonight, because I know if it was the Red Sox, I'd want to be.
That's my best friend keeps calling in. And he's telling me probably someone hit the home run. Did I see it? And he knows I'm doing this. And I told him the time, but he's probably so excited. So, but no, I still, anything else?
Do we have any last questions for Christian before we let him go? I will take this moment just to really thank you for this time tonight. And, it means for me, it was important for me to for people to be able to put a face to the
I do appreciate it. I do, because like I said, I don't do all the shows like all the other, like Joe Coroni, I don't know, or Brian Miller, how many shows they do. Like everybody has a face with them, but I don't do the big ones like New York Comic Con, San Diego, or, you know, usually you'll, if you catch me, it's that Celebration or Dragon Con, you know, in my neck of the woods.
I see Joe when we have shows. I see Joe more than some of my best friends because he's up in the Northeast 5-6 times a year doing
Yeah.
shows. There's so many shows up here. Yeah, it's so this is you know kind of what we're trying to do is to keep the celebration, the spirit of celebration going.
Yeah, man.
In between the shows, and you are a big part of celebration. So
I do appreciate it. Thank you.
thank you for being with us, Christian. And that I think that's it. We want you to go enjoy that game.
All
Go
right.
Braves.
Hey, thank you so much. Y'all have a great one. I enjoyed it.
All right,
Thank you, Christian.
Take care.
Thanks, Christian.
Thank
Have
you.
a great
Bye-bye.
All right, we'll talk soon.
Yeah, man. Bye.
All right. That was Christian Waggoner, everybody. Thank you for some great questions.
That's
And,
fantastic.
how do we like the tour?
Oh my God.
He told me this afternoon. He's like, "I'm gonna give people a tour of the house." Sure. I was like, "Yeah, I think they'll like that."
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that was great.
Before
So
we
are we ready
sign,
for next week's announcement?
yeah, why don't we do that before we sign off?
You want to know who's coming next week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. This person is one of the first Star Wars actors that I became friends with and became good friends with. And he is just one of the greatest guys. I'm very happy to be able to have him on so we can spend some time with you guys. You're going to love him. And it is John Morton, who played Dak and
Nice.
Bespin Boba in The Empire Strikes Back. John is one of the nicest people you could ever hope to meet. And he's going to be with us. He's very much looking forward to being with us next week. I had actually had him booked for a couple of weeks ago, and I pushed him back a little bit. So he's going to be with us next week. John Morton from Empire Strikes Back. He is a great guy, and just a gentleman, and he's got a lot of good things going on right now, and I'm really happy to, Christian was every week is it's been just fantastic, and I know John's going to be, you're really going to enjoy the time that you get to spend with John. One of an actor from, for most of us, one of our favorite movies, and I'm looking forward to bringing him on next week.